The Western warnings about Egypt cited potential security risks, but little detail of that has been provided. Egypt is hosting members of parliament from across the world, so the warnings couldn't have come at a more inappropriate time.
We're asking everyone to consider the sensitivity of the situation and the importance of not publicizing what can negatively impact the Egyptian economy. These countries must consider our sovereignty and avoid taking such decisions.
Egypt's tourism industry has suffered blow after blow. It's the largest foreign currency earner for the country. Cairo has spent millions in upgrading security at its airports, yet travel bans from countries have yet to be lifted.
We understand that it affects the Egyptian economy, but you know we're living in a very turbulent world, and governments have a responsibility to their citizens to ensure their safety.
Howarth has been inspecting Egypt's security as the head of a British delegation. He's confident that Cairo has done its part.
The British government and the Egyptian government have been involved in detailed discussions to deliver improvements to security here at Sharm el-Sheikh. And I am told by our Department for Transport people that those improvements mean there is no showstopper to resuming flights.
But those assurances have been heard before. For a year, people here in Sharm el-Sheikh have waited for these travel bans to be lifted. They still hope to see foreigners and much needed revenue return to this Red Sea resort city. Adel, Mahrouky, CCTV from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
Well, Adel Mahrouky is in Sharm el-Sheikh following up on the African Arab Parliamentary Conference currently going on there. Adel, thank you for joining us. What's on the agenda today at the conference, though?
Well, today is the opening session, the official opening session of the conference between the African and the Arab parliaments. According to the president of the International Parliamentary Union, he says this is the first gathering of its kind to gather both parliamentarians from two continents together to discuss their common fate. After the opening session, the discussions will start right away. There are several points on the agenda. On top of them is to create a platform for Africa and Arab world together to face common threats, on top of which is the threat of terrorism. It comes on the top of the agenda as several Arab and African countries have been facing rising threats from militant groups that are actually spreading beyond borders of these countries. They're also trying to discuss and enhance cooperation between both nations to deepen economic growth and development and support development in African and Arab countries as well.
Well, this is an African Arab countries conference meeting there in Sharm el-Sheikh. What are the delegations, though, are represented there?
Well, there are about 18 speakers of parliaments from both the Arab and the African worlds. We've spoken to some of them. The delegations represent parliamentary officials from most of the nations, from many of the nations in both regions. The rest of the nations are still represented, some of them by the local representation through their ambassadors here in Egypt. A few have less representation in the conference, but it seems from what we're getting from the organizers here that at least almost all countries have joined in a type of representation. So this sort of representation and high-level presence of prominent speakers across the region, many believe that it could really enhance or at least start the talks and the discussions between what could be, from some experts' point of view, could be a strong change in the cooperation between the Arab world and Africa.
So what exactly, though, Adel, what exactly is Egypt hoping to gain out of this conference?
Well, first of all, Egypt is trying to emphasize that it has two aspects of its identity that need to talk together: its African geographical location and its Arab roots. Together, Egypt believes that such a cooperation could also emphasize the role of Egypt in the region and at the same time help African countries and Arab countries to start seeking solutions for the challenges they face alone, without any interference from the Western influence, for instance. This is an attempt that Egypt believes could be a first step in a true independence for African states and Arab states to take their own decisions, to cooperate together to help each other from depending on other powers beyond the region.
Right, Adel Mahrouky for us there in Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt. Thank you.